Well, hello gang, it's Mercy and Wolf here again. So, I thought I could do another Let's Play to go alongside the Detroit Become Human one, as that is my first one. I thought I could do two at the same time, one on the PlayStation, one on the PC, and give you as much content as possible. So, the reason I've chosen this one is because, well, I don't have very many games in my PC library, but this is a game that I haven't played for a while, but it is a game that I love. I love this game with a passion. I do love all Rome Total War games. They are very, very good. But this one is just, I just feel that this is the best. I think this is when they were at their peak, and I do think that it is very difficult to beat this. Some people might say it's a bit basic in comparison, but I like it the way it is. You know, I've never been a big fan of the boat battles and the later models. I just like focusing on the ground battles. So that's what we're going to do, and I've chosen this one. So let's go. Now, like I said, I haven't played this for a while. Okay, so as you can see, I only have the three factions available of the Roman Empire: the Julii, the Brutii, and the Scipii. Now, whilst some people might say that's a bad thing, I tend to think I do tend to enjoy playing as the Romans more for a couple of reasons. The first reason is I do think at the start it is a challenge, especially if you choose the Julii or the Brutii, because the Julii you have to face Gaul, and Gaul just has a ridiculous amount of provinces at the start of the game, or access to a ridiculous amount. And the Scipii, they have to face the Greeks, which use hoplites, and the hoplites tend to be very good against the Roman infantry. So they do present a challenge, and then later on in the game, when the change occurs and you do get the legionaries, I don't want to spoil it, but it does become a little bit more difficult because of what you have to do later on. So as you can see here, you know, you become the supreme ruler of Rome. So the way you have to do that obviously is to take Rome. So that's what happens later on in the game. So I do personally prefer the Julii because I do like playing the Gauls against the Gauls. They do tend to be aggressive at the start. There does tend to be a lot of wars, and people do say that it is easy when you play as Roman. Yes, it can be viewed as being easy, but I don't think it's as easy as people make it out to be, because you only start with two provinces. You don't have an economy, and you're only limited basically to starting your infantry. You know, you can't really get access to archers. You can get cavalry, but the Roman cavalry is horrendous. And spearmen, you only get one unit of spearmen triarii, and you don't get them until really late on. So you are really essentially only limited to your infantry, which is why I think it makes it good. And the reason I'm going to choose the Julii is because, like I said, I do like playing against Rome, against Gaul, and then against Germania, because the barbarians do tend to play very aggressively. So, without further ado, let's begin. We're going to start as Julii, and let's see if we can take Rome and become the supreme ruler of Rome.
I hate Gauls. My grandfather hated them too, even before they put out his eyes. Did you think I'd be out here on the frontier without good reason? Yes, Rome needs a strong frontier. No, Rome doesn't need unwashed barbarians at her gates. So, that's why I'm here. The leader of the Julii, to bring Roman order to stinking Gauls. Revenge? That'd be good too. This war against the Gauls won't last long. And when it's done, I've got plans. This is all about power. Power in Rome. Going down that road means dealing with all my rivals. The Senate, the Greeks, those Carthaginian elephant riders, the Scipii and the Brutii families too. After all, the man who controls Rome rules the world. And one day, I will be emperor.
Ah, you heard it here first. One day we will be emperor. So, the way this works, it is a 4X type game. So you do all of your actions, and then you press enter, and then the computer does all of his actions, and then it's your turn again. So, as we can see here, the first thing that's going to happen, and this is scripted, is we need to take the settlement Segesta. Okay, the Senate asks you to take the settlement for the glory of the Empire. If you succeed, you will be greatly rewarded. Okay, so Segesta is this little town here. As we click on it, we can't. So, Rebel Village, okay? So it's done. It's occupied by rebels. So it's going to be fairly straightforward, I hope. But we'll find out in a minute. Let's have a quick overview, okay? So, as we saw in the intro, the Gaul territory is all over here. There are plenty of settlements there. So, the way we find out about the different areas is, we have to explore like most games. So, what I like to do is I like to use my assassin. I don't like how they were, you use them to assassinate, sabotage. I don't really use them. I don't have any use for them. So I tend to use them as explorers.
On my way.
Okay, so let's send him on his way. Okay, and that's revealed another Gaul town. So we have two right here. Okay. And then the other person that we have here is the diplomat. Now, the diplomats are very important at the start of the game, in my opinion, because you use them to make trade routes. Okay, and this is what brings you trade money. So you click on the faction, you go talk to either the diplomat, an army, a town, anything from that faction, and you can open a dialogue with them. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on this guy here, the Gallic diplomat.
I shall speak
Okay,
with
and we
them
ran out
once.
of turn, so we'll have to do that next turn. But hopefully we'll do that, and we'll be able to open up a trade route which will bring us more money. Because at the start of this game, money is probably the most important thing. So what I like to do first is I do like to go on this button here, which opens up the settlement screen. And the first thing that I do like to do is I always go up to the very high tax rate. Because as you can see, when it was on normal, minus 45 coins from this town, going up to a very high tax rate, 397. So that's like 450 difference. And as you can see, the public order here went down, but for obvious reasons. So the first thing that I always do after setting the tax high is I always choose one of these shrines, because the shrines give us public order bonus, and that is very important because that will increase this and make them more happy. Now each of the three different ones has a different advantage. I do tend to go for the Bacchus one because I do like the bonus to the happiness. Okay, so we'll do that. And then we'll do the same for the other town, our second town, which is Arminium. Okay, and again, we're going to put this up to a high, very high tax rate. Now, as you can see, the face has changed yellow. So that means that they're not happy. It's not anything to worry about too much right now. When it goes down to red, that's when we need to worry. Blue is very problematic, I think. It could be blue then red anyway, but I don't remember. It's been, like I said, it's been a while. But when it's one of those two colours, you need to worry. So we're going to do the same here. Okay, and as I can see, that has taken money from our storage here, which is we start with 5,000 denarii, which is a good amount of money to be honest with you. It's a good starting amount. Okay, now another way to increase happiness is by having soldiers. So for example, if I was to take this soldier out here to to here. So what is it's currently 110%. So if I was to take this soldier here, take him out, you see it's dropped 10%. Okay, so we don't like that, and the face has gone down to yellow. So let's put him back in, and it's gone back up to green, 110%. So an effective way to combat that is to hire troops. Now these guys are useless. You don't want these; they just waste money. Okay, in a battle, these guys flee after 2 seconds. They're not very good. So we want Hastati. Okay. Now you're thinking, well, why do you need to build an army? You know, you already have a sizable army right here. Yes, but I also have 2 Gallic towns right here, and there have been times where the Gauls have attacked me on the 2nd or 3rd turn of a game, and I wasn't prepared. So you always want to improve your army with Hastati at the start. So let's build one of those. Okay. And let's do the same in Arminium. Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, we can't do it here because we don't have the barracks. Okay, look, the barracks will allow us to build Hastati. But because we have no barracks, we can't build any Hastati. So when this is finished, this shrine, we're going to build some barracks here. Okay. So, money should be okay now for the next turn. So, we've explained these 2 buttons here. This is the overview of the town. This one here is the faction overview, okay? So this is where we can see our faction. So here it says our capital, our leader, how many family members we have, regions controlled, etc, etc. Now if you're lazy, you could go and auto-manage everything, but that's just not the way I play it. So, this is a list of our commanders. So we have 4 at the minute. So 4 family members that we're allowed to use in battle. Okay, and we can see that with the family tree. So the ones you can use in battle are male members. You can only use male members. And when they die permanently. It's permadeath for them. So we don't want that to happen. And as we can see here, we have 4 young boys. Now, these boys come of age when they turn 16. So when they turn 16, you can use them in battle. Obviously, if they die, they're out permanently. It works a little bit like Crusader Kings in the sense that, you know, you marry them, they have kids, you can use those kids, etc. Okay? So this girl here, Fadia, pretty soon I'll probably be prompted to marry her off, and that will give me another general. Okay, which is very good. Yeah, that's the faction, and this gets bigger and bigger. I mean, if you just stay at the two cities, then that won't grow at all. Just stay as it is. And then we have the Senate officers list. Now, to be honest, I'm not really sure what this does. I've never really understood it. Because generally I never get anyone on here, so I don't really understand it. But if
this
you want
scroll
to,
shows that
you can click on the help button, and that will help you out. But if I don't understand it, I don't use it. I don't really think it's that important. Okay, so next, the financial. So this is the income. This is the expenditure. Now, the income I got from taxes and trade. As I explained, the trade with different areas, with different factions, taxes, self-explanatory. Now, mining comes from if you own a region with a mine, which we don't. So when we get one of those, we can explain it to you. And then farming, you can build farms and upgrade your farms. Here, as we can see, land clearance. Okay, improved farms and food production. This just provides you with a little extra income, which is very helpful. Okay, and this goes. And then down here, income from corruption, which is nice, but as you grow and get bigger, expenditure from corruption does get pretty bad. Okay, so those are all of those explained. I think that the next thing that we should do is take a look at our army.
Orders!
So, as you can see here, we have 2 different armies,
Imperator.
both commanded by a general, which is awesome.
Imperator!
And the Senate want us to take this town here, Segesta. So, the first thing that we're going to want to do, I think, is we're going to want to merge these armies. So if we merge those armies, you can see it's got even bigger. Yeah. So the bigger this banner, the more full this banner is, the stronger, the more units you have in your army, and you can have a maximum of 20 units in your army. So not quite as chaotic as the Rome Total War 2 or those onwards from that, but yeah, it's still pretty good. Now, as you can see here, we have 4 units of Hastati, and these little chevrons here indicate experience. So more experience means they fight better, they're harder to kill. And then you can get 3 bronze, then 3 silver, then 3 gold. It's very difficult to get gold unless you use the same army all of the time, because you're not limited like you are in Total War 2, where you can have just a certain amount of armies. In this one, you can have as many armies as you want, because they don't need to be led by a general. Being led by a general is helpful, but it's not necessary. Okay, so yeah, so we have the 4 units of Hastati, so those are our main infantrymen. They're very good, probably the best infantrymen around at the minute. They have little spears that they throw at their enemies before they attack, and hopefully we'll see that in the battle. And then we have this here, these are Velites, okay? Velites. And these are basically javelin men, so distance fighters. But the problem with them is, first of all, they don't have very much ammo, and they do die very quickly if they are caught. And then we have this unit here, the Triarii. These are our spearmen. Now, problem is we can't really get Triarii until quite late on, unless we focus on building barracks, which I don't do because I think the economy is more important at the start. Which means that this is probably going to be my only unit of Triarii for a very long time. And then finally, we have the archers. Now, these archers are really what I like to use the most. I'm a coward, basically. I do like to... All my battles, the archers probably use most of their ammo, if not all of it. Because, it's a way of peppering down the enemy, okay? And again, if you can't really get access to these until later on, because the way this works, if we go into the town, so here we got the practice range, okay? So the practice range enables us to build Velites. But if we go in here, where is it? Where is it? This one? Yeah, it's this one. Okay, so if we go on this one, so Velites, this one here, practice range. Now, we can't get archers until we have a minor city. Now, a minor city is pain in the backside to get, because it does require, I believe it's 4,000 population? 6,000 population. And you can't build it until you get that. And then you need to build like the replacement, the next thing from the governor's villa, I don't remember what it's called, which takes like 3 or 4 turns. And then you need to build the archery range, which takes like 5 turns. So you don't get them for a very, very long time. Okay, so this essentially is going to be my only unit of archer for a very long time. Now, you can hire mercenaries if they are available. So, for example, if I go to Gaul with an army, I can probably hire some mercenaries. And this would build a watchtower or a fort, but right now it's just a waste of money. Sometimes I do build forts because they do give you the extra vision from an attack from Gaul, especially if I'm fighting on another front and I want to be warned. But let's do this. So let's move our army. So we want to move our army here to Segesta. Now this is a rebel village, Ligurian rebels. So because it's a rebel village, it should be easy to take. However,
attack! Besieging settlement, sir.
I don't proclaim to be a very good tactician. I don't proclaim to be an amazing gamer. Sometimes I can be a complete idiot and lose battles when I really shouldn't. Now, this is the siege screen. Now, a lot further on in the game, we will come up against villages and cities that have walls and things where you need to build siege equipment or these sort of things, so ladders, rams, and they take turns. But because this does not have a wall, we can attack it immediately. So before we do, let's have a look here. So here we can lift the siege, which cancels it, and you have to wait until next turn. We can attack, go and attack right now, or we can maintain the siege, so keep the siege going. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to assault. Okay, we want to attack. We want to take this village. That, my friends, will be for the first thing that we do in our next video. Okay, but I do think that this is a good spot to stop. So thank you very much for watching. I hope I've helped. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope we can continue on this journey together of expanding Rome, the Julii faction. And I hope that I can see you again in the future, guys. So thank you. I am Mercy and Wolf, and until next time, bye bye.